What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. I'm going to take you through finding and acquiring every single Guardian in Tier 2 in this video. We're going to start off with Soundless Mage Taliesia. This is a great Guardian for healers. This is what she does. Healing increased by 25%. All CC effects on all party members within 15-meter range are removed, and health is restored by 8% of their max health for 5 seconds. Now this is pretty easy to do. If you need extra guidance, go into your codex. You're going to go down to the Forest of the Great Tree, scroll all the way down, and Into the Fray is what we need to complete in order to unlock her. You can click this button to add it to favorites, and that is going to pop up on the right hand side here somewhere. Here it is right here, and we need the abandoned gem. So we could just click this button right here. That's going to pull up the area and show you where that gem is, and then we can just teleport out there and get this done. And we're just going to fly down to this abandoned gem here. We're going to walk up, interact with that, and that's going to teleport us to an instance. There's a rather long movie. I suggest watching it. It's very cool. I am going to skip it for the video. Once you come out of that, you are going to have these enemies to fight, and you are going to transform into the Guardian. Pretty easy. Just take out everything in the area, including the totem there, and move on to the next set. If you see these ones, you can't attack them until you finish off the one that's buffing them, so focus on them, and then you'll see that buff goes away and you're able to actually attack them. Moving on here, we have the Corrupted Leader. We'll see if we can do this in a single strike. There we go. We got that taken care of there. We'll kill this last one, and boom, we have completed this. We're just going to escape through the magic circle, and we should come out on the other side. There we go. And we just need to head back over to this abandoned gem. Get back over here, interact with that, and you will be able to take the pledge. You can see she is now available. We'll teleport out of here. Maybe. Nope. All right. We're going to have to deal with this guy first. Then we'll teleport out. Oh, geez. Everything wants to attack me right now. Cut. There we go. Now we'll teleport out, and I'll show you that in the menu. So if we go back into Guardians here, you can see now she is available, and we've unlocked her. We can assign her to our character. The next Guardian on our list is the Gloomy Jester Barbason. He gives us all CC hit chance up 300, and then CC resistance also up 300. So for this guy, you're going to want to come to your Exploration Codex, go to Bearcant Manor, and then if we scroll down, you can see he's right here. Add that to the favorites, and we'll head off to do that. You can see it right here. Investigate the old frame laying abandoned in the Bearcat Manor. And if we just open that up, it shows us where that's at, and we can teleport right over there. I guess it's Bearcat Manor, not Bearcat Manor, but yeah. So don't worry about how I mispronounce things. Sorry about that. It's a thing. It's a thing. So Bearcat Manor, we're just going to run past this big tree here. And you can see the old frame is right there. We're just going to go and interact with that. Boom, and that's going to teleport us into this instance. Now that we're in here, pretty easy. What you're going to do is just follow along and interact with all these frames. I think we need to interact with it one more time. We take it, turn into that guy. These picture frames are going to spawn enemies, so just deal with them when you get over here. Pretty simple. These guys suck, but that's okay. There we go. All right, then we're going to interact with this next picture frame. It's going to open up the next area. You can actually skip some of these if you run around this side. You will attract 2 of them. This one here. And I guess these guys came out anyway, so just deal with all 4 of them. And there's that. Interact with this one. And then we're going to head upstairs. We're going to jump over that because we mantle things that we don't want to. We have a few more enemies that are going to spawn in here. We'll interact with that. That's going to fill out the painting. And we should have a couple of enemies spawn in here. Here we go. We'll have the eyeballs and then these demon guys as well. I like to take the eyeballs out first because they always seem to stun me. And that should just about do it right there. And then we interact with this again. And we now have the Gloomy Jester Barbason. Going into the gardens, you can see he is unlocked right there. This is likely the one that I'm going to end up using for my PvP build. Next up, we have the Wild Enchanter Dreadal. It gives you all attack power increased by 3%, hit chance increased by 100, and cooldown speed is 5%. So your cooldown speed should be 5% faster. For all party members within a 15-meter radius, receive this effect for 5 seconds. So if we go to the Exploration Codex, this is going to be under Quietus's Demise. Now this one requires us to do some other codexes first. We have to do For a Better Tomorrow before this is even unlocked for us to do. So we need to go up, find For a Better Tomorrow, add that to the favorites, and then do what it tells us to do there. I'll meet you back in this video once I've finished that. All right, it took me about 5 minutes to get that done, just focusing on that and using teleports. Now we can favorite Rescue the Bride in Distress and get to it. The first thing we need to do is speak to Hammond here. Once we do that, we're going to investigate a suspicious coffin. We'll just click this so that it shows us where to go, and we can head right to it. So we come right over here. You can see it right there. Interact with that. And that's going to take us into an instance. After listening to a short story there, we're going to interact with it on the ground. We have yet another short story to finish and then interact again. Then after another short story, we interact one more time. This takes us out of the instance, and as you can see, we have another location to head to in Herba Village. When we reach the location, we're going to interact with Hartman. We're then going to continue to ask around the town. You can see the next mark is just around the corner here. And we're going to talk to Ilsa. From here, we're going to head down to this last point, and we will interact with this here. I'll be honest with you, this one is super annoying and I don't enjoy it. You really have to take your time going through here and make sure you're not spotted by the guards. I also can't give you an optimal path for this area. The guards and guests move around in strange ways. It's not always the same, and so you're just going to have to do your best to get through here. I will give you some pointers and some tips on the best practices and things that don't work so that you can avoid those. And you'll be able to see, even as this guard is walking away from me, as I get close, you can see the eyeball appear above him. If that eyeball is all the way open, it will then fail the mission. You don't want to bump into a guard by yourself. You need to hide in the groups of people in order to make it to your destination. You also can't morph during this section. It is going to be pretty slow. Standing near other guests will make you invisible to the guards. However, they will not make you invisible to Nicholas, as he appears to know all the guests. It also will not allow you to swim and actually reset you if you try to go in the water. If you interact with these over here, it will cause an explosion. My guess is that is to attract the guards. Nicholas will notice you if you get too close, even if you are in with a group of guests. You want to be very cautious of where this guy's going. Once he enters the building there and this guard gets a little ways away, that's your perfect time to head over and interact with the boat. This is a checkpoint here. As far as I can tell, going in the water will cause an issue. You have to make it past Nicholas again and back over to look at these crates. Once you think this guard is far enough away, sneak inside and interact with the crate. We now have to speak to the guard captain right here. And obviously we got caught and reset. Though it didn't reset us very far as we hit a checkpoint here. We're then tasked with going back to the suspicious coffin. Once we're back, we're just going to interact with it again. We then have to turn around and approach a shadow, and that completes the quest to unlock that guardian. The next guardian on our list is Fairy Archer Rafadrial. She creates a wind barrier around the caster in a 5-meter radius. When summoned, party members within the wind barrier increase magic and ranged evasion by 200, and their attack speed is increased by 10%. If we go into the codex down to the Crimson Manor and we scroll down, we can see Enraged Guardian, and we'll add that to our favorites. You can see the first person we need to talk to is right next to the waypoint. This waypoint has to be unlocked in order for that codex to actually appear. We'll interact with this guard. Now we need to find Roy at Crimson Manor. If we click on that, we can set a waypoint for his location. We'll have a quick conversation with Roy. If you turn around and look behind you, you will see the guardians standing there. We're just going to run over and interact with them. So I was slightly confused on what to do with this at first, and then I finally figured it out. So there are these orange lights that are around the area. The first thing you need to do is have her shoot at those lights. That will illuminate them blue. Then what you need to do is interact with them when she doesn't shoot them. So there's a bit of timing involved with this. You want her to shoot, then you interact, and then you run away. If she shoots the lights a second time, it's going to turn them back off. You can see there's a beam headed up into the sky there. That's what you need to do. If she shoots them, then it's going to turn it back off, just like you can see there. So you want her to shoot and then interact with each one of these. You want to stop when you are not going to have that shot actually hit these lights. Once you've done that with each one of these lights, you will have enemies that spawn. It's just 3 enemies. They're rather easy to kill. Wipe them out, and then you are going to go back and talk to the Guardian. You do this a couple of times, and she will become your next Guardian. The next Guardian on our list is the True Defender, Pluton. He has the Tomb of Mortality, has an 80% chance to pull up to 10 targets in a 5-meter radius towards the caster. Endurance increases by 30 per pulled target. So for this one, we're going to go to Codex Exploration. We want to select the Black Anvil Forge, scroll down until we see him in the list, and we are going to favorite that item. Now this quest actually starts in Herba Village, so you want to talk to Ronald in Herba Village. And if we pull up the map, you can see he's right there. We'll go ahead and put a pin on him. Let's have a quick conversation with Ronald. That's going to give us a point in the Black Anvil Forge. So we need to interact with this cart here, and that's going to take us into an instance. After a short ride, we then enter here, and we need to kill this dwarf sniper. We're then going to have a conversation with Ronald again. We then need to board the minecart again, and we're going to hide a second time. About halfway out, we have to fight again. This time, we're just going to follow the resistance guards instead of getting back in the minecart. There's a couple of enemies with shields. We just need to wait until we can actually attack them. You can see they are setting up multiple disruptors. We just need to run that direction and have him run over it. That removes the barrier. We have yet another round of dwarves with the barriers. And a boss. This boss asks you to kill the resistance soldiers, and in turn, he will spare your life. You're going to attack him. He instantly gets a barrier. Now, at this point in time, you just need to wait until the pledge shows up. Once you see the pledge pop up on the ground, interact with that, and that will turn you into the Guardian. This Guardian has the ability to attack through these barriers, probably only in this instance, but that's what you need to do, is just defeat all the enemies. After controlling the pledge, we need to speak to Ronald. You then wait to be returned to Herba Village. And when you return, you have the true defender, Pluton. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. Don't forget to whack the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. And if you don't want to be out of whack, there's another video on the screen right now that you can click to support more of my content.